Welcome to the graduation exercises for Boston Trinity Academy's class of 2020. Please join me as I read from God's word from the book of Colossians. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body, you were called to peace, and be thankful. Let the message of Christ dwell among you richly as you teach and admonish one another with all wisdom through psalms, hymns, songs from the Spirit, singing to God with gratitude in your hearts. And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Please join me in a short opening prayer. Almighty and everlasting God, thank you for the class of 2020. And thank you that we can gather together to celebrate their years with us. Bless this graduation ceremony and bless these graduating seniors as they leave this place and go and impact the world. And now let me introduce the chairman of the board, Rob Bradley, for a few introductory remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Guerra. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the faculty and staff of Boston Trinity Academy, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you this afternoon to our graduation ceremony, our 15th graduation since the founding of the school. And it is a tribute to Mr. Guerra, his leadership team, and the faculty and staff that we have found a way during this coronavirus pandemic to meet together in these challenging times. And not only to meet here today, but also to transform the entire educational experience at Boston Trinity Academy to remote learning. And the trustees salute each graduating senior for rising to the challenge and finishing up this year, this bizarre year that you will never forget in such a strong and positive manner. This year, 37 seniors are graduating from Boston Trinity Academy. As trustees, we salute you for your outstanding leadership of the student body this year. Your class as seniors has set a new standard of leadership at the school, and we congratulate you for bringing this to the younger students. It is vital for the health of the school community, and you have brought it to a whole new level. You've also been instrumental in helping to cultivate a culture of kindness and respect at Boston Trinity, which so many students mentioned to me. We thank you, and this day, this amazing day is for you. We've gathered together this afternoon to celebrate the achievements of each one of you in the 2020 graduating class and to cheer you on as you are launched into a new world, an exciting world, but a world not without challenges both here and abroad. In the midst of this pandemic, with a constant stream of bad news trumpeted by the media, it would be natural to be fearful of this new world that you're entering. It's difficult to pick up a newspaper or watch the news on TV without becoming discouraged about what's going on. The possibility that colleges will not open in the fall, that businesses will stay shut down, that travel will never be the same, that there'll be no jobs. Don't believe it. America has been through this before, various times. In 1918, 1919, there was a flu pandemic. 600,000 people died in that one, 6 times the number of this. In 1968 and 69, when Woodstock took place, there was a flu pandemic and 100,000 people died. This too will pass, just like they did. And there's another reason to be hopeful and sanguine and not to be fearful At Boston Trinity Academy, we believe in a great God who created the heavens and the earth, and who also created each one of you. He is in control, and you can trust in him. He sent his son Jesus to die for you that you might have life to the full, both now and in the life to come. He has a plan for each one of you, and it is good, so be not afraid. Do not be anxious, do not be worried. Seek God, and he will take any fear or anxiety that you might have. Now, looking back at your experience at BTA, you will understand more and more over the coming years what you have been given at BTA. You have a wonderful group of teachers pouring out their lives, sacrificially investing in you. This remarkable faculty at BTA, made up of talented and dedicated men and women, has made it their mission in life to give you the knowledge and spiritual capital you need to succeed in college and in your life. They have sought to cause a transformation in you, a transformation intellectually, emotionally, athletically, artistically, and spiritually. This transforming growth is for your benefit in this life and for eternal life. Being a part of Boston Trinity Academy is a priceless asset which will help you immeasurably throughout your life. Whether you've been at Boston Trinity Academy for 1 year or for 7 years, one thing is true: you've been on the receiving end of an enormous investment, and I'm not just talking about money. There's been a daily investment in you by the faculty, the wise and strong leadership of Mr. Guerra and his leadership team, and the financial support of a wonderfully generous group of trustees and donors. So as you leave Boston Trinity for the next adventure in your life, you represent us. Live out your life in a way that honors Boston Trinity Academy and the people who've invested in you. As St. Paul writes in 2 Corinthians, you yourselves are our letter, written on our hearts, known and read by everybody. And the return address on the envelope letter says Boston Trinity Academy. We are so proud of you and all you've accomplished. Make us even prouder of you in the years ahead as you wisely use all these things that you have learned at BTA. Thank you very much.
Nearly 400 years ago, the Puritans of New England spoke and wrote of being God's light and an example to England and the world of God's best and highest. They called their experiment a city on a hill. And now this little nursery, Boston Trinity Academy, nestled in a small corner of Hyde Park in Boston, strives to be God's school for the city, a beacon of light in the educational world. Today we will celebrate in a way that the Puritans nor anyone else 400 years ago could possibly have envisioned. Yet the age-old ancient virtues are still the ones by which we see the light of God in our school, society, and students. This light is shining in our students, who are characterized by a desire to do something great with their lives. This greatness emerges in a variety of ways, as varied as caring for orphans and the disabled in Nepal with the Trinity Institute, excelling on advanced placement exams, receiving awards for visual artistic expression, winning league championships in athletics, or acting brilliantly in drama productions. In the future, we may have to find new and innovative ways to practice academic excellence, purposeful faith, and authentic community. Soon, you will be And so today, in cars and on Zoom, we celebrate the culmination of years of hard work and commitment by our senior class. We rejoice with them as they prepare to enter the world at large with the knowledge and wisdom they have gained in their years with us. Class of 2020, you have been educated here in anticipation that you would take what you have learned and do something extraordinary. Our hope in providing this education has been to train and discipline you so that you will build your life on rock and not sand. So many today engage in careerism and self-promotion, hoping to attract fame, fortune, or a following. Others just settle for mediocrity or consumerism. You have been educated differently. And so remember Jesus's admonition, to whom much is given, much is expected. You have been trained to become servant leaders. And as you advance into leadership positions, remember that leadership is not exercising power over people, but true leadership is service, character, and laying down one's life for others. Soon you will be graduates of Boston Trinity Academy, attending college and experiencing new levels of freedom. True freedom is not liberation from external influences, rules, or obligations, as some falsely assert, and which is in fact impossible. Rather, it is the ability to choose the influences you decide to submit to. And so true freedom makes available the power to live a great life. So live a great life. And remember these words of Jesus. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven. Boston Trinity Academy confers 4 major prizes that exemplify what is best and highest in our educational philosophy. These prizes are awarded after careful deliberation and vote by the entire faculty. And you, as you're called, will come up and get them here. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Award is given for exemplary servant leadership and betterment of the Boston Trinity Academy community. This young woman arrived in our 9th grade 4 years ago in what was a different educational world from the one she had known. She overcame the obstacles, but not just for her own sake. Instead, she focused on the betterment of others. She is the consummate servant leader whose high character and strong commitments have endeared her to friends and faculty alike. Her extraordinary honesty and its outreach team. Her lacrosse coach, Miss Brooker, calls her a warrior because in what might be the toughest position in all of sports, she plays lacrosse goalie fearlessly. She is also the ever-present, ever-ready stage manager for drama productions, and without her behind-the-scenes leadership, our spectacular drama productions would not be as spectacular as they are. The winner of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Award is Audrey Williams. Yeah! Where is she? Easy, we have neighbors. Where is she? Keep appropriate social, I wish I could hug you. Keep appropriate social distancing. The John Elliott Award is presented for excellence. The John Elliott Award is presented for excellence in academic scholarship and the demonstration of Christian character. Following her brother, she entered Boston Trinity Academy as a 7th grader and is impressed from the beginning. She listens well, sees the big picture, and is willing to take risks in order to fulfill her deep passion to learn. Along with playing girls varsity lacrosse, she has made a strong commitment to the arts in and outside of school. She has been involved with BTA drama productions every year, and she has sung beautifully with our jazz ensemble, the Eclectics. Outside of school, She has acted with the Wheelock Family Theater and has been a member of the Berkeley Encore Music Ensemble. Last year, she received a National Merit Scholarship Letter of Commendation, coordinated the MICA Conference, and was awarded the Dr. Michael Chen Leadership Book Prize. This year, she has been the winner of the Upper School Performing Arts Prize. She is the Spiritual Life Prefect, founder of the Spiritual Life Council, and now she is the recipient of the John Elliott Award, Sadie Elliott Hart. Yay, Sadie! Congratulations. Congratulations. The Robert H. Bradley III Leadership in Action Award is presented to the outstanding senior boy whose actions and character display love of learning, generosity of spirit, and courageous leadership for the benefit of others. He arrived on this campus 3 years ago as an intense and intellectually motivated student. Over his years with us, he has changed from self-focused into someone who makes a genuine effort to think more broadly and circumspectly. As academic prefect, he not only led our peer tutoring program this year, but also he took dynamic steps to further refine our honor society. It was his idea to name the honor society Ad Litem, capitalizing on the double meaning of at school and at play. He has learned to think and reflect rather than simply ambitiously fixate on achievement. After some injuries and disappointments in soccer, he was forced to rethink his life and his priorities. His opportunity to work in the Bank of America summer program and the Mayor's Youth Council were transformational, and his work in the Trinity Institute as co-leader of the Refugee Care Group is a testimony to his deepened responses to the world around him. The Robert H. Bradley III Leadership in Action Award is presented to Joseph Kong in absentia. Many of you know Joseph is in Korea. Joseph, congratulations if you're watching this on Zoom. The Barbara Foote Shingleton Award for Distinction and Gracious Service is given to the senior girl who best demonstrates commitment and excellence in academic achievement, coupled with poise, generosity, kindness, and service to others. She arrived on this campus 6 years ago and quickly established that she was organized, intelligent, and efficient, but she has grown in her leadership and academic abilities each year. Perhaps a watershed moment for her came when she went to a resettlement camp in Maine, and her eyes were open to the issues Somalian refugees face. And so she founded the Trinity Institute's Refugee Care Group. She has also taught ESL through Park Street Church's overseas mission in both Colombia and Kazakhstan. Last year, she was the first ever BTA winner of the Harvard Book Prize, a member of MICA crew, and began to get involved and committed to our drama productions. This year, she has taken on the mantle of leadership as head prefect in ways that have surprised and delighted her peers and teachers. She possesses an amazing combination of vision, initiative, and follow-through. This year, the winner of the Barbara Foote Shingleton Award for Distinction is Phoebe Linnell. Oh, that's gonna go. Congratulations, Phoebe.
Congratulations, Phoebe.
Our graduation speaker Stephen Armont is the former chaplain and Biblical Studies Department Chair at Boston Trinity Academy. He also served as Assistant Director of the Trinity Institute for Leadership and Social Justice and supervised the Micah Conference. A native Bostonian, he graduated from Gordon College and Gordon Conwell, where he engaged in urban ministry in international contexts. Currently, Steve is on faculty at Milton Academy while he pursues a PhD in philosophy at Boston University. He counts his time at Boston Trinity as the most treasured formation process of his teaching life, and this senior class has requested that he address them. Please welcome with me today's graduation speaker, Mr. Stephen Armont.
About 40 students are sitting in a parking lot, and the day is muggy, and they're tired. After a long, long journey that was challenging, rigorous, but rewarding, where they've grown to know each other as a community, they're excited to celebrate with family and friends, and in this parking lot, they wait for 6 hours. Now, that's not today's plan. I think you guys would run out of gas by then. But this was 3.5 years ago when this senior class was freshmen. And they went on their freshman retreat. And after hiking in the White Mountains for 3 days, they came to the base lodge where they were ready to go home. Tired, exhausted, dirty, very smelly. And they waited for 8 hours as a bus that was supposed to be dispatched from Boston had not come, and a driver had not been contacted. And it was during that time that this class taught me something about waiting and what's worth the wait and what are we waiting for. So Mr. Bradley and the Board of Trustees, I want to thank you for helping this school weather this storm during this time. It takes courage and cleverness and all kinds of dedication to make sure an institution like this can weather what's taking place. I want to thank you for that. And Mr. Guerra and the faculty, I just want to encourage you again. My time here at BTA was one of the most formative experiences of my life, to see you care for a community the way that you do. And families, I've met most of you, but not all of you. But the care that you have to show up in your cars on this day and decorate your cars and celebrate the great accomplishments of these students. And the testament over time of what you've poured into this place and into their lives is shown every day at Boston Trinity Academy. And since our theme is waiting for it, seniors, first I'm going to chastise you for a moment. So I want you to look at someone in your car, and I want you to be honest with yourself. How many times have you ever said the phrase, "I can't wait to get out of here"? In those late nights of studying, those extra papers, those few more comments that get put on your symposium presentation, and you think to yourself, "I can't wait till this is done." Well, I want to commend you because you did wait, and you are here. And you did put in the work, and you did take that extra piece of feedback, and you did go to those extra sessions of math help, and you did go during your study halls. Instead of playing foosball with Mr. Armand as we used to, you actually began to study as you got older. I want to congratulate you. I want to celebrate the work that you put in. Boston Trinity Academy is not an easy school. They expect very high standards of your work and of your commitment. And today, we celebrate your work that you've put in. So the theme I want to talk about today is what's worth waiting for. You have to wait a few more minutes today until you receive what we're all gathered here for. This document that demonstrates all that hard work that you've put in. But there's a few more things I learned from that story that I just told about the 9th grade retreat. When we were in that parking lot for 8 hours, these exhausted teachers were actually a little nervous. The students were supposed to get home and have dinner at home. So we had no food for them. We had no water for them. It was a bit of a hot day. And for hours, we were waiting in this parking lot. We sort of thought we had chaos on our hands, a little bit of a riot, this delay that was going to take place. But this senior class, then freshmen, took that time of waiting to be present with each other. The games that they played, the conversations that they had. What we were waiting for as teachers for that retreat was for them to build some sense of community going up this giant mountain in New Hampshire for some reason. What we learned was 8 hours in a parking lot can build that just as well. That's because what we were waiting for was not to get past this or that task or obstacle. What we were waiting for were for you as students to recognize the value that you have for one another. I'm teaching now, and this year has been particularly strange and weird and difficult. And I can only imagine that as seniors, it's been particularly heartbreaking that you waited so much of your high school life to experience the spring of your senior year, what it's like to kind of be done with APs, kind of not have to do a bunch of work in school, kind of keep going. And a lot of that got taken. I can't imagine the kind of disappointment that might bring up within you. But something that you taught me that day 3.5 years ago was that those things that you wait for, the things that you really yearn for, aren't just those kinds of accomplishments, aren't just those kinds of events or those kinds of activities. The thing that you really yearn for is to find yourself in community. Find people who see you, who know you, who love you. People who, when you're on a Zoom call, you can still share inside jokes, snickering at each other. People who still call you up when they know you're having a bad day because maybe you didn't put your video on. People who are there for you through thick and thin. And take a look around you. These teachers, these families, these fellow students who are here for you. This is what's worth waiting for. And one other event that I have to bring up to this class was when I taught 8th grade Bible to the boys, and Miss McElrath taught 8th grade Bible to the girls, and they had to plan a chapel together. This is typically a fairly straightforward process for most students. It takes about a day or two of preparation, and they're on their way. This class, I think for about a week, argued with one another about how to even begin. And as a teacher, typically I insert myself into these situations, but I said to myself, I'm going to wait. And so I would not respond when they would say, hey, can you fix this? Can you come tell us what to do? It was their chance to figure it out. Now, if you've ever heard Tejana and Tomas argue with one another, this was an intense time of deliberation between this class. Sides were taken, difficulties expressed. We had to have a whole debriefing session about feelings that were getting felt. It took time. We had to wait for it. I wasn't entirely sure what I was waiting for, but I knew it had something that only they could demonstrate to each other. After this meticulous process, they pieced something together, bit by bit, took on roles. There's a particular crew of boys then who would tend to skip study hall. What I then caught them doing one time was practicing for this chapel in the chapel spot in the school during their off periods. They banded together. They didn't want to disappoint one another. They wanted to demonstrate what the diversity of their class could really tell the rest of the school about what it means to be in unity. And this year's been tough. You see a lot of difference in the world, a lot of strangeness, a lot of weirdness. It may hit you in years to come, everything that was at stake this year and the choices that have been made in the wider world. I have confidence in this class at BTA in a unique way. You've demonstrated to me that you really do care for the differences that exist. You'll stand your ground. You'll fight for what you believe in. You'll disagree with each other. But during those times of waiting, when people can feel chaos and people can feel like a riot's about to break out, you strike me as students who are willing to find what unity can look like, what a voice of harmony and justice can look like in a strange world. That's shown to me today by seeing 30-something of you gathered in this parking lot. That community matters is what you've been taught at BTA. That the faith you have within yourself to follow out God's plan for your life is the faith you have in one another, to live that life out with one another in this world. Now, the scriptures talk all the time about times of waiting. You think of stories like Abraham and Sarah waiting for a child, of Jacob waiting for a partner, of Joseph being told a dream and then waiting years and years to be reunited with family. Over and over, these stories of waiting. And what to do in that waiting time. You right now may be waiting for me to finish this speech. You may be waiting to get off to college. You may be waiting to find your major, to graduate college, to get that job, meet that person. Keep waiting. Eventually, you're going to die. You keep waiting. What we teach here at BTA is the values of saying in that waiting period, you find out who you are, that you're present to yourself. And our world's been challenged with that over this past spring in quarantine. You've been challenged to find time by yourself. When I was a teacher here, I would have 11th grade students do various spiritual disciplines. And one of them was called solitude. And for 2 hours, students would have to go out with no electronics, no homework, no music, nothing, and just sit for 2 hours with themselves. I had students crying at my door that they wouldn't want to do this. We've all been forced into that kind of solitude for some time. What it's like to be present with yourself, to be present with your family all day. You begin to see things about yourself. You begin to see what it is that you value, whether you're valuing those things, not distracted most of the time with all these other plans. And it's in this time that I think that you've demonstrated to your teachers that you've risen to the challenge that other classes have not had to face. Similar to the 9th grade retreat, other classes have gone on those retreats. Other classes have gained great insight into what it meant to hike a mountain together. What you struck me as is a class that in waiting, in the chaos, in things that were confusing, uncertain, whether it's the chapel, whether it's that retreat, you find the value in the community around you, that's what you have faith in, that this needs to be shown in our lives. And now you're going beyond this institution, beyond that parking lot and beyond this parking lot. And I don't have to recount to you, nor is this the time and place, the things in this world that need attention. You can name them yourselves. And what we're waiting for are for people who will stand up and to bring that kind of love and fight for justice to the world. That's what we're waiting for. So class of 2020, what you need to hear as you're leaving this celebration today is that we're waiting for you. And we want to know, what are you waiting for? Thank you.
Class of 2020, prepare to receive your diplomas. Come forward.
Woo!
Come forward when your name is called and come and get your diploma. Waliat, Adebakola, Afalabe.
Maybe have only that car
Yes.
Tell them only their car honk.
Can't walk with those shoes in this parking lot. Warren, Russell, Bachman. Congratulations, Warren. Emilia, Yusefa, Bagay, Viachorik. Tejana, Barton, Neal. Lauren, Patricia, Benjamin. Congratulations, Lauren. In absentia, Modhur Bhattacharjee. Eleanor Rose Brown. The American names sure are a lot easier. Eli, Allen, Shalamo. Good job, Eli. Anthony, Isaac, Robert Dubois. Way down. Come on, Anthony, run. Congratulations, Anthony.
Picture, wait, picture.
Carell Durant. Congratulations, Carell.
Good job, Carell.
Congratulations.
William Ronald Echols III. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, he's the one for Air Force. Air Force.
You were going to Gordon College, and you played lacrosse, right? That's the greatest picture we have if you put that goal in there.
Sadie Elliott Hart.
Congratulations.
A virtual hug. A virtual hug. Jared, Georgian, Etienne. Way to go, Jared. Congratulations. Chia Chi Fan. Jason, I was afraid maybe you slept through. I was afraid maybe you slept through it. I'm glad you're here, man. Solomon Hill. Congratulations, Solomon.
Studying philosophy, Solomon, huh? There we go.
Congratulations.
Yisu Yuan Huang. Congratulations. In, okay, put your picture. In absentia, Weijun Joseph Kong. In absentia, Kevin Kim. Tatiana Korsakova. You made it, Tanya. Wrong shoes for this parking lot, girl.
Congratulations.
Right there. Christian Lamar. Got some fans here, Christian. Picture. Shin E. Lee. Miss Teresa. There she is. Careful. It's all right. They wear those shoes, my goodness. Oh my goodness, yeah. Phoebe Alice Linnell.
Same level when the gym is being built? Is that same sound level?
We're gonna lose our permit here.
Yeah, I know, really.
Our neighbors aren't complaining. I leafleted all in the neighborhood. Yeah.
Phoebe, way to go. Congratulations, Phoebe.
Phoebe.
Great job, Phoebe. Esther Lopez Soto. Congratulations, Esther.
Congratulations.
Thomas Elijah Margaris.
Good job, Tommy.
Danielle Renee McConnell. Congratulations, Danny. Picture. Natanael Josue Naranjo Useda. Nata, where are you? Oh. Dot Huang Nguyen. Congratulations, Dot. Jordy Richard Peguero. Good job, Jordy. Kadar Ishmael Prescott Echols. Good job, Kadar. In absentia, Ejin Ren. Tomas Esteban Salazar.
Congratulations, Thomas.
Congratulations, Tomas.
Man.
I'm calling you out, Tomas.
Angelise Santos. Congratulations, Angelise. Caleb Cecil Scott. Way to go, Caleb. We do have neighbors.
Maybe not after this.
Maybe, yeah, surely. Kegan, Chace, Smith. You can do it, Kegan. Emma, Yvonne, Spence. What? Yeah, that's her daughter. They moved here so she would go to school. You made it, Emma. Congratulations. Audrey, Jessica, Williams. Congratulations, Audrey.
Good job, Audrey.
Ducheng Zhang. You made it, William. Congratulations. Congratulations, class of 2020. You are now graduates. And police cars. You are now graduates of Boston Trinity Academy, and this concludes today's ceremony. Thank you all for coming.